I personally now, if I started from one, I probably wouldn't do it now. Dumbarton was just, if you're talking kind of take your breath away.
Before we get into today's episode, I just wanted to say something. This is the final episode of the year for the Bogey Golf Club podcast. We're not going to take a long break, just a short one, maybe just a chance for a breath and really to look back and notice where the show is now compared to where it started. This podcast has always been about learning about people's stories, the amateur experience of golf, not necessarily about fixing it, not coaching you, not dressing it up to be something that it isn't. I'm just trying to talk honestly to people in golf with far more knowledge about than me about what the game does to us. When the time that we get to play it might be limited, but our expectations are always sky high. If you've listened to one episode or you've been here for the whole year, I genuinely appreciate every single one of you. The fact that people choose to spend time with this kind of conversation, it doesn't get lost on me, and it certainly doesn't get taken lightly, and I genuinely appreciate it. Heading into the next year, the tone won't change, but hopefully the thinking and maybe the way I do things will just get a bit sharper. There are some genuinely great conversations lined up, and the focus will stay on trying to all get better at this game, but also learning about the personalities behind this beautiful, beautiful thing that we take part in. One small thing that really does help the podcast, especially going into 2026, is following the show. Subscribe wherever you listen, leaving maybe a short review if you can, if you've got the time, if you haven't already. It helps the podcast find people who are looking for this kind of content in their lives, this kind of conversations and perspectives. So I really would appreciate it if you're able to do that. In today's episode, we kind of have a look at what amateur golfers and maybe amateur content creators mainly are told and whether that actually applies. Quite often on this podcast, I've said the words just stop. Maybe whether that be when it comes to practicing differently, maybe pursuing a career in golf, a content creator or whatever it might be, maybe to take it more seriously. But today's conversation is with someone who's actually lived inside that advice and they've seen both sides of it. Dennis, who runs the Bogey Golf YouTube channel, he documents his experience of golf honestly, without pretending it's cleaner or a simpler game than it is. He puts it all out there and has done for many years now. We talk about the effort it takes, the expectations of being part of that content creation world, and what starting something looks like once maybe that honeymoon phase wears off. I hope you enjoy it, and this is my conversation with Dennis from Bogey Golf. I've got a mate actually who introduced me to your channel, and he used to live around that way, and he's moved down here now since he got married.
Okay.
And he was saying he was jealous of a lot of the courses you were getting to play around that area.
Yeah. To be fair, kind of depends what you're into, because when I first started playing, I hated links.
Yeah.
I just hated links. I didn't get it. What was all the fuss about? But then it's almost like a coming of age. As the longer you play, you kind of, I don't know why. It's like drinking beer. When you're young, you hate drinking beer. Then you turn 18 and all of a sudden, oh yeah,
It is absolutely amazing.
Something like that with golf and links. But do you know what? I'm a sucker for a good heathland course, I think. That's me. That's a bit me. And to be fair, there's quite a few around here, so can't complain too much.
He was saying specifically, I think it's your home club. What's the name of your sort of home course where you play the most?
Well, so it depends when he started watching, because I think since I started the channel, I was a member first at a club called Lichfield, and I did probably my sort of first year there since starting the channel, and then more recently Bredsall Priory in Derby. I was a member for about 7 months, and then now I'm actually not a member anywhere, because with the channel it's kind of, if I'm playing, I'm probably filming, and I don't really get the time to actually go and be a member, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the price I pay, I suppose.
I suppose that comes with that content creation thing, though, because if you're filming the same course like over and over again, eventually it's getting tired, isn't it?
Yeah, especially if you're on your own. If you've got like a good and there's 6 of you, then you can mess around and do all sorts of stuff. But there's only so many times you can watch me try and break 90 on my home course, if you know what I'm getting at.
So I've seen like your your sort of journey when looking through like your YouTube and your Instagram. So currently, is that the target you're setting for yourself? That break 90 sort of like series almost.
The thing is, I broke 90 a few times. Right now, I'm really struggling to break 90. So probably right now, it's the most kind of accurate. Because I started to break 100. That went for a bit, and then I started breaking 100, and then naturally it's getting better. And now I break 90, and I was like, oh, great, right, break 85. I think I'd maybe did one break 85 video, then it very quickly straight back up to 90. So yeah, we're sticking with 90. This year, I don't really think I've improved much, but yeah, 90s. If I'm breaking 90, I'm a happy boy. It's tough out there at the minute.
It's a nightmare out there at the minute. Like it's better. Like where I am down on the coast, it's a lot of like chalk-based courses, so it drains really well. So you can.
Oh,
yeah. So like all on the cliffs and everything like that, it just drains amazingly. They have the greens are soil greens as well, so not sand like based greens. So they just drain incredibly well and stay green like throughout the year.
Nice.
Whereas a lot of places right now, or at certain times of the year, they have to chuck a load of sand down to try and keep them. That never happens. Seaford Head, I'm shouting it out, and Dennis, if you can, I shout it out every single week. I think Seaford Head, but it's a great place to get down and play some golf because it's just one of those golf courses that goes under the radar. It's like it's stunning.
Yeah, I think there's so many of them. And especially around the links. I mean, I get so many comments of, oh, you need to come down south and do all this. And I would love to. It's just, it's so far. And if I get the logistics right, it almost has to be like a trip.
Yeah.
Right, we're going down, we're making a base, and we're ticking off as many as possible. But yeah, there's so many down south, 100%.
Yeah, there's some stunning courses.
There's too many good golf courses to play. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It's sort of a spoiled problem us golfers have, isn't it? Of like,
yes. Yeah.
Where do I go? I'm going to Littlehampton this week, playing Littlehampton, which I've not played before. That's meant to be pretty lovely as well.
I think I've heard about that place. Yeah. Nice.
So, my game won't sort of, show the best of it at all, and I'll probably come away really frustrated.
You never know. You never know, Dave. I think it's when you least expect it. That's when the good round is round the corner. It's not when you've been smashing the range. You're feeling good. That it's never then.
Okay.
Which is very sad, actually.
It's sad, but that does fill me with a small amount of confidence, which might be dashed by the high winds on the literally on the beach as you are there. So, but Dennis, can I take you back? I ask every guest. I've sort of got into this little habit on the podcast, asking every guest the same question, and it normally leads to a nice conversation of when was the first time you first picked up a set of golf clubs? When was that? When can you remember that moment?
First pick up a set of golf clubs.
Your first or even your first memory.
I'm thinking like this is a really long time ago. So yeah, it's really not a romantic answer to this question. I resisted with all my might to not play golf. I played all sorts of sports growing up. Basketball, the main one, football, tennis, swimming. I did everything. And then probably before COVID, a few of my mates were like, oh yeah, golf. Into a few rounds, the messages come up in the group chat. They had a good time, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nah, golf, it's boring, walking. I'm used to sort of high impact sports and all that kind of thing. And then COVID happened. They were just every day golfing. I'm like, all right, the FOMO starts kicking in. And then weirdly, it's only really after COVID, I went to a driving range. And this is the first time I'd ever really even tried golf. And it was just like game over. I don't know. I think it was because I was so bad as well. Because I couldn't join my mates and be the worst. Sure. So funny story. I actually straight away before, which is most people don't do this. I bought lessons before I even started whacking it really at the range. So I bought like this one lesson and then yeah, it was just so addictive. It's so addictive. And if you're even a little bit competitive, it just gets you so bad. And I'm not afraid to claim I'm fairly above average. Oh, this is starting to sound horrible. I'm fairly above average most sports, But golf, my God, there is zero natural ability. Honestly, it's just, I've got mates who play once every 2 months and they might beat me. No lessons, no nothing. I am just grinding for everything out there on the golf course. No natural ability. But I just love it, man. Love it. So to answer your question, about 4 years ago,
Yeah.
is when I first picked up a set of clubs, and it's game over since then, which I think most people, it's probably a similar story for you, right?
Yeah, I mean, I played as a kid, like, which was a bit unusual.
True.
Because but at the time it was geeky, you know. It was like no one played golf, you know. What you get dressed up in trousers and a polo and white shoes, and you go and play, you know, a walking man's game. You know, what are you doing? Like no one really. But I literally lived like I could grab my clubs and walk to the range, like from my house, just over a field, and I was at Tilgate Forest in Crawley golf course, which was like, it was great. There was a little 9-hole course there, and you sort of built up to go into the 18. So fortunately, I mean, I say fortunately for me, I'm not like playing to a great level anyway, but I did kind of have that motor skills kind of sort of stuff of playing from the age of like 10. You know, which I understand your pain now, because I'm seeing like that exact thing with one of my mates who like he's pretty great at every single sport, like you were saying, like you can kind of pick up most sports and be pretty good at it very quickly, and he's one of those. But golf, it's a different beast, isn't it? You know, it really is, and he said that exact same thing. He's like, I just hate that I'm not good at it straight away. He's like, that's what's really annoying me. But you're being harsh on yourself, because I've seen your golf, and you definitely, you're not like, you're making out like you're useless, and you're definitely not. You're hitting the ball like well. So were those lessons helpful? Like at the start, was that something that really like helped?
Yeah, I think the starting ones definitely did, like that, how to hold it, because I had like awful first tendencies. Like if without any lessons someone just said, "Oh, swing this club," my natural instincts were all the things that you shouldn't do in terms of where your weight is and everything. So I really needed someone to just tell me how to first do it at the foundations, and then I think that probably saved me that first kind of teething period. So it was probably quite a steep curve at the start.
Yeah.
And then it was just really slow after that. And it's still really slow. Yeah. But then I've got this constant battle of, should I be having more lessons? Should I not? But the thing is with me is, I'll have a lesson and he'd be like, Eureka. And then I won't really practice what they taught me, and I'll go and play and and then I'll have another lesson in a couple of months, and then we'll kind of do the same thing. So it's weird, because football, you go and play. If you play every week, great. If you'll probably improve, probably. Golf, you could play every week and get worse, potentially, if you're doing
Disgusting,
like, be embedded in worse habits. It's like, I actually have to go and practice, like a grown man going out to practice the sport he plays for fun, even though we're not competitive. We're actually all awful, but we're going to practice it. Like, getting your head around that is crazy. If you think someone just goes and plays paddle every weekend, like, no way, no hell would they go and practice paddle. Like, we're all maniacs. We're insane.
Do you know what? I've got this theory that ignites the child in all of us, golf. Because I think we were talking about those sports. Like, you have to be there and do them, like with a team or with like others to be better at it. But I remember being a kid and like with a football in my garden, running around my garden pretending to be every single Man United player and like passing it to each one. It's just such a sad and lonely story, but there is a point to it. And pretending to be each and every single one of those as part of my practice, because that was like enjoyable. I would hit like a tennis ball against a wall, and that would be part of my practice. I wouldn't do any of those things now as an adult, because that would be complete insanity to play out Wimbledon final up against a wall with a tennis ball and a tennis racket. But I will go to a range and pretend that I'm playing the 18th of a golf course, which I didn't play well, because that's actually good cognitive behaviour for golf and good practice. So you can almost get away with being a complete child by playing the game.
It's our safe space,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah, that's a great theory. That's so true. And then like the euphoria that you get, we should not be getting that excited about hitting a good shot. But we get really excited. Too much so, which is part of our problem, I think. Well, I say our. I'm gonna tarnish you with the brush
It's
of the
everyone.
high handicap. But I have my emotions through a round of golf. Oh my God. I don't know how this will ever come out. Maybe AI will help me down like in 10 years' time. And I look back on my videos and the correlation of a good hole and something out of character happening in a good way and the following hole score and vice versa. There is 100% a trend. I'm editing a video now. It's coming out tomorrow, but I've finished editing it. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's the worst round I've played. So definitely this year in a long time. Oh God. And it just gets you, doesn't it? When you least expect it, that's when it
You're
gets you.
doing a
And even that round has
You're doing
everything.
such a brave thing as well,
Oh,
like
triple
Dennis,
bogey.
aren't you? Like at the end of the day, you're putting out your your complete learning of like game management, golf in itself, from like pretty much start to where we're at now. And
Yeah.
those like when did you make that decision? Like, because it seems like a pretty crazy one, doesn't it? Like, I didn't want to say why. I didn't want to say why because it's working out pretty well.
I always wanted to have a YouTube channel, or like, I don't know, I always had this. It's not like growing up, but over the last sort of 10 years or so, leaving the uni, I was always like, let's have a YouTube channel. What could it be? And it was like during COVID, it was like, oh, maybe I could do like crypto trading or something. I'm like, oh, maybe I could do gaming, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it's always been in the back of my mind. And then golf came along. And I was consuming so much. I mean, there'll be loads of people who got into golf and then found YouTube golf, and it's like, oh my God. Like your life then becomes golf because you've come off the golf course, you watch 2 hours of Rick Shields, you watch whatever. So I was literally like, wake up, golf, watching, playing, blah, blah, blah. I was like, do you know what? Because at the time when I started, and I don't envy this, I always get messages about people message me asking about any tips or advice starting a golf YouTube channel. And I feel so bad for people starting now because when I started, most of even the better channels, you could really get away with a tripod. You could probably get away with a GoPro. At the time, only the really good channels were putting traces on. It was a really different time to say. It was only like 3 years ago. So the barrier to entry was really low. You don't even need to edit it well or anything. Just strap a camera down, off you go, filming around, blah, blah, blah. So that was me. It was literally just a GoPro. Did I have a mic? I think I had some wireless mics and that was it. Off you go. And it literally was that. It was just, let's put 9 holes out, see what happens. Fast forward to now, people starting a channel now. That's just, I mean, the production quality now is so high that you almost have to, you can probably get away with using a GoPro and a tripod or your phone and a tripod or whatever. But you just stand out. And I just feel so bad for people because I've had 3 years of learning to edit, learning to blah, 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 all this stuff. So the landscape's changed so much, so much. So when I started, it wasn't that scary, really. There wasn't even that many channels in the UK, believe it or not. It was certainly not smaller ones. So yeah, it was just, okay, this could be the channel. It's not that hard. Put the GoPro down, mic myself up. I'm doing it anyway. Let's see what happens. And then the rest, as they say, is history.
That's awesome.
Very modest following, but yeah, it's you just try it, and then it was either going to go somewhere, it wasn't.
Like you're saying, that barrier to entry has changed like over the years. I remember seeing like, I mean, I don't even know if this is right. Is it like, it's probably close to 20 years since like your Rick Shields and your Peter Finches started their channels. It's probably is about right. I think I remember watching it like,
yeah, I think so.
When I was a teenager. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's okay. Show it. But watching it then and seeing like the way they started, which was like filming on potatoes, basically. You know, I mean, like it was rough, but at the time it was cutting edge. You know, and it was like, wow, these guys are doing like golf coaching for free, and I can then take that and do that on the course. This is awesome, and that's all they saw it was as well, wasn't it? I mean,
and you were actually watching the early days,
like way back.
Oh,
well, because before that, right, all you had was golf. ShotScope is the tool that you don't have in your bag yet, and the one that you need. Whether you like wearing a watch on the course, whether you like using rangefinders, whether you just like having the tags on your clubs to know your distances, ShotScope gives you all of that. Before using ShotScope, I was unaware of the best parts of my game and the worst parts of my game, but using their watch and their rangefinder has enabled me to work out where I need to improve, using shots gained data to accurately see where I can improve. And I want that for you too. So if you use the code Birdie Golf Club on the ShotScope website, that will get you 15% off the entire range. So make sure to head to the checkout, put in whatever ShotScope product you want, enter code Birdie Golf Club, and you will get yourself 15% off. It helps support the podcast and can help improve your game. Channel, like Golf Channel was it. Like we are going back. This is like just post teletext days. And Golf Channel was the only thing you could consume, and that was dominated by adverts trying to sell you everything, the occasional instructional, and then just a lot of just PGA Tour golf. So then suddenly having these guys that were somewhat relatable because, you know, they were English guys and you were like, oh, they're only, you know, they're up in Manchester. That's not too far. Yeah, that's interesting. And watching them then start to collaborate, because you had sort of Carter, Finch, Fryer, and Shields all working out of similar areas. I think they were all at the Trafford Centre at one point. And then watching them go and film like 9-hole videos that came out in 3 parts. Like you'd have 3 holes, then another 3 holes, another 3 holes. And that was, like you said, but that was literally just one camera each that they would be carrying around. They'd be filming as they're walking. Yeah. And it was just super basic, you know, no lights, nothing. You know, it was all very...
The good old
very,
days.
very basic. I guess the good old days. But now you look at those guys and you look at what, you know, like people like yourself are filming on the golf course, and the production quality of it is just night and day. And it's that evolution. You said that when you look at somebody who's starting now, like in that YouTube space, you sort of feel really sorry for them, because it's like, okay, you're going to have to get X, Y, and Z before you're even kind of hitting. Yeah. Would you say to someone, don't do it, or would that message still be do it? And I want you to be as honest as possible on this as well, because sometimes people just say, yeah, do it because it's what you want to do. But
I would really, there's so many factors, right? So if I this might give you a good idea. So if I was to start now, knowing what I know in my circumstance, so we've just had our second
congratulations
child. Well, thank you. She's 8 months old, so it's not that new, but we've got 2 young. Yeah, if I broaden out, we've got 2 young kids now. Time is tough to get, so I think it takes up so much of your time. Golf, anyways, is like we are stealing. Like anyone in the relationship with kids, golf is just outrageous. How much time we are away. It's just I don't know how we get away with this sometimes. But that's golf in isolation. So imagine you do that and then you edit for the one time I timed it, and this is going back about a year from now. So now I'll probably take even longer to edit. But one video takes me about 16 or 18 hours if I'm sort of sat down in front of the laptop. So that's outside of work. So that's in our social time. So something has to give. So you're either going to be a worse partner, father, whatever, or your own work or your job. But some people don't, you know, you have luxuries and stuff. So I would think about the commitment if you're really going to go for it. And yeah, I don't know. I personally now, if I started from one, I probably wouldn't do it now, which sounds crazy. I probably wouldn't do it right now. And it's the best thing that's come out of it. It's not really monetary or anything. I mean, at first it started, it's like a hobby that kind of paid for my golf, which I was going to go and play. And that was amazing. It's more the opportunities of like playing amazing courses and that type of thing. And the places it takes you is so good. If you're into your golf, and that's just been the best thing ever. But it's just so tough now. If I could go back in time, I'd start it again, 100%. If I had to start a fresh channel now, not being able to like edit in the way I do and everything, I don't know if I would do it now.
Interesting.
What I kind of say now, and this is my honest answer to people who reach out, is if you're going to do it, it does take loads of time. You have to really committed, and you have to stand out, because there's so many channels now and there's only so much stuff people watch, listen to, podcasts. There's only so much time in the day for someone to consume. So if I upload and then there's a video on yesterday from Grant or the Brian Bros and Rick Shields, there's all this amazing content. And you've got to think, why would they watch yours over even something like that? So you either have to have a really good personality or something unique about it. And this is why I think the Four Bros have done so well, because it's so different, especially for the UK. I'm lucky, I think, because I don't think I've got a crazy personality or anything. I think I'm lucky because when I entered, there wasn't really much high handicap action going on in the UK. And I've now got a community of people who kind of are with me now, I think. But now it's tough. It's tough out there now. I've got no problems being honest. Believe it or not, I've had moments where I was like, is it worth me carrying on? Genuinely. And people probably think, oh God, it's going so well, but it's not. It's quite a stressful life, especially if you've got lots of things to juggle on the outside as well. Yeah. There's content, Julian, but the last video hasn't done so well. I wonder why. Oh God. So it's tough. Yeah, for sure. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, that's for sure. No,
and it's so numbers, like people say, oh, ignore the numbers. And it's super hard to ignore numbers when essentially you're basing your success off of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, well, if the numbers aren't there, there's not much point me carrying on. You know, like, it's one of those things. But did you find that difficult, like in the early days? Like now, obviously, you've got a relatively consistent audience that are there to consume. But did you find it harder in the early days when the numbers probably weren't there, or is it more difficult now that the numbers are there and you're looking for more?
It's more difficult now. I've never thought about it that way, but the early days were easy because you don't have that much expectation. And it was the growth stage. It was like, you're getting more views than your subscriber count. It's like, whoa, this is great. And then you never know when your next video is going to do, like, because at that point it's all exponential. It's like, whoa, I hit my first 1,000. I remember, I don't know which video it was, but I got 1,000 views and that was like massive. I remember my first 100. I was like, okay, these aren't just my mates anymore, type of thing. It was like, oh my God, there's real people watching this.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, the laptop, the iPad, everything. So yeah, it's at the start it was good because that you get these little wins all the time, the dopamine hit of, oh wow, I'm growing subscribers. Now, yeah, it's definitely switched. It's more, I'm not getting as many views this year as last year, for example, which is crazy because I've got way more subscribers and blah blah. And YouTube, the landscape's changed now anyway. It's not so much about subscribers, it's more about the algorithm and what's recommended. So I think for that reason, less people subscribe anyway now. So the whole YouTube landscape is changing, and it's harder to get views now than it was last year for sure, for a number of reasons. And then of course you're in the game of, oh God, what am I doing wrong type of thing. But I'm in the space now where I'm just going to keep doing it. It's great because I want to go and play golf anyway, and I've got quite a good sort of system now of getting this stuff done. There's no pressure now. What will be type of thing. And if people are still watching, we'll keep it rolling.
I love that. So it's essentially just taking the pressure away from it being like numbers and more like, am I happy with what I've created? Which is a great place to be, isn't it? Like, that kind of idea.
Yeah. 100. Yeah, there's no pressure. At the start, it was definitely, oh God, what if this goes crazy? Okay, how many subscribers before I go full time? But that's gone. It's not happening.
Reserving a place for the YouTube plaque. You're like, I think that'll go right, like just there, really nicely, actually.
Yeah. Did they do one for 20K, please? Yeah, no, it's too tough. Unless this year has just been a bit of a red herring for whatever reason. But it's tough. And I think if I didn't have the two kids, a bit more extra time, maybe I could go a little bit bigger. But you just have to make a choice. But I'd be playing golf anyway, so why not put a camera down type thing. So that's where I'm at. But yeah, absolutely. I've had times where it's like, oh God, is this worth it? When you kind of settle play and you're ready to, you think, but it's all good fun.
Us golf dads have to pick our moments, right? You just got to pick your moment.
It's real.
I've been seeing your series, which I've been really enjoying watching. Actually, is the using Tiger Woods blades on the golf course. Did you what blades do you have? What blades? What clubs do you regularly use? compared to obviously those EW?
So I'm with Tacoma at the moment. So it's their kind of, so they're called the 1Ts, which are kind of like the P790s, I think. It's like, I don't know, TaylorMade's line up that well in the high, but they're the kind of forgiving game improvement, not jacked lofts, but not blade lofts type of middle ground clubs. I've also got their like cavity back bladey type irons. They just keep swapping out of my bag, especially this year. I've just been probably 50% with both of them because I can't make my mind up. Honestly, I prefer the bladier irons. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't think I lose yardage really. I mean, if anyone watches my channel, I don't really rack up the big scores because my iron play is awful. My iron play isn't great, but it's not because I'm hitting it out the toe or the heel and I'm losing yardage. It is because, generally speaking, I can't putt, and when I'm off, I am off. No handicap game improvement iron is saving me when I like lose my head on the golf course, which tends to happen every round at some points. So that challenge wasn't too much of a crazy difference because I'd played the irons anyway. I think if I'd been like a proper high handicap game improvement irons, like I don't know, like a G425s or something, these proper sort of chunky irons, which some people swear by, I just can't do it. I like to see the anyway. So then it would probably be a bit different, but they didn't look that different at address to me. So maybe that helps with the challenge. But it's the second time I did that kind of video. I did with the Mizuno MP whatever blades. And even there, that was one of my better rounds for scoring, which is like hilarious. Which kind of tells you where I am, where you lose a lot of strokes, isn't it, really, off the tee with the big clubs. But no, they're good. It's good fun. Good fun. I like to do something like a bit different every now and then.
I'm with you. I prefer like a thinner top line on a club. Like, I don't feel like sometimes I can feel like I'm being babied. Do you know what I mean? Like when you got this giant fat top line on a club and you can see the cavity sticking out the back of it, and it's just like, I don't want to see that, you know. Like I know I probably don't deserve the other thing, but I want the other thing, like bad, you know. That's I use like bladed sort of like muscle back style sort of like clubs as well, and I just love it. I love getting a 4-iron out and just being like, that is a butter knife. And if I hit it well, it's going to be great. If I don't, I'm going to be punished for it with a shooting pain up my arm.
Yes, yeah.
You know?
We love it.
Glutton for punishment.
We love it. We're already torturing ourselves in the golf course, so why not go a step further? Right?
Yeah, absolutely. How have you enjoyed sort of like the partnerships that you've formed like over the years with YouTube, and obviously the opportunities that come from that as well?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, so Tacoma was kind of the first brand that reached out, but it's actually 2 years in December. That's when I first joined them. And they've been awesome. I mean, I did the charity day, my first charity golf day last year, and they put up prizes that were crazy. To say I did like a stable for pairs, they put up 2 sets of irons, so a brand new set of irons for each of the winning pair, 2 sets of wedges. They helped me with a giveaway. So they've been awesome. And to be fair, they're probably one of the first manufacturers to really go big on creators, especially the sort of smaller ones. And I think it's paid dividends. I mean, they're absolutely flying now. So yeah, Tacoma's been great. It's been 2 years now. So it's been quite a while. And then a few bits and bobs here and there with random stuff. I did Manners last August. We did a campaign with those guys. That was cool. So yeah, I've been quite lucky really, just because of my size. And usually a lot of brands look at Instagram actually as a first sort of port of call. And my Instagram's been lacking. Usually it's weird. Tweeters are usually better at one or the other, long form or short form. I'm not very good on Instagram, to be honest, but it's kind of, you fall on your sword because that's the first place brands look. Yeah, so it's been interesting, but I think with YouTube, you can definitely sort of tell a story, if you want to call it that. And I think people are sort of more bought into the personality that you can get across and that type of thing. But yeah, no, I've been super lucky, super lucky. And that's the kind of thing that kind of keeps you going as well, when you get noticed by brands. So long may that continue, fingers crossed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. I think personalities, like one thing I've learned from when I started this podcast last year, and one thing I've learned is that, you know, the personalities just drive the game forward, and whether that be through brands or the brands even themselves as well. Like Tacoma now, you've literally got like Grant Horvat front and center of everything, driving that brand forward. You got the Brian Bros doing the same, and you look across the board. Your Manners, you know, have got people like yourself last year, but then obviously you've got Short Side as well, and everything like that, and people really buy into that because it's no longer just a brand; it's associated with a person that they like, you know, which is
a bit of an identity, isn't it?
Exactly. And I think that's what I mean. We all like our little local like bakeries or whatever it may be because we know the guy behind the counter, don't we? And I think sometimes that gets lost in the grand, like when people want to become like huge brands, they sort of almost forget you still got to know people from it for people to want to buy it from you. And it's better someone wants to than feels forced to because it's the only thing around, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the huge shift from tour pros, isn't it? Well, not so much from tour pros. I think there's still a place there, and I think that's why you see more personalities on tour now as well. I mean, Netflix has done absolute wonders for golf in general. I think golf was already growing, and then Full Swing happened. It's like, whoa, awesome. I mean, I love anything like that. Drive to Survive. I don't even have to like the sport. Netflix documentary on a sport. I'm there. I am there. I just love the behind the scenes stuff of sport. It's mental.
I think that like you said, that's huge for the game because, you know, season 3 should be what, in February? I think, do they release something like that, February?
Yeah, it's
just
about that time.
I know it's pre-Masters, isn't it? February, March sort of time. And everyone's like now already thinking like, okay, that's going to be like Ryder Cup. That's going to be like Rory winning the Masters. Like, it's just, I mean, where were you for that? Rory winning the Masters. We like just glued at home, just watching it.
Yeah, I was. Well, it was late. It was late, wasn't it? And it was kind of like the missus was asleep. It was one of them ones kind of on your side. Just about me, it was Sky Go anyway, just on my phone, kind of like falling asleep through parts of it and then waking up to the end. But I remember seeing it. It's just crazy.
I think the Masters.
It's almost felt staged, but it was just like you're watching a movie. You know the ending, but it's just coming.
It was insane. It's the only thing that Rory could do it that way. You know, like Scotty's like robotically good. Do you know what I mean? He's just going to get like if Scotty won that Masters, he'd have won it by 4 shots, and it'd been over by the back nine.
Yeah, it'd been boring.
It would have been, and it'd been unbelievable because it's Scotty, and it'd have been impressive. But Rory's just that guy that you just know it's going to be like a dogfight, and then like with Rosie as well, obviously like coming out of nowhere and just
what a year for Rosie.
He was unbelievable. I mean, people were saying, oh, you know, he's 44, nearly 45. Is it sort of the tail end of his career? And I think he's sort of shut up those critics really because, you know, not many had a better year than Rosie really when it comes to like actually competing in most big tournaments.
Yes.
And then the Ryder Cup to...
It's just always loved it. Yeah. All next year, this season's just too short, aren't they, golf? That's the one thing. As a newcomer into golf, is like, what? We're finished already?
It feels like they should just chase around the sun a little bit. I guess like DP World Tour chase around the sun a little bit. There's sort of this time of year.
Yeah.
But not enough big players coming over and playing on it. We're in the year 2025, soon to be 2026. And do you know what your most precious commodity is? Something we wouldn't have dreamed of in the 90s. It's actually your data. And companies are harvesting that data. They're using it to promote ads to you. They are selling your data. And it happens day in, day out. So make sure you protect yourself out there. With a NordVPN account, you can make sure that your data stays private to you. You can even change what country you want to appear to be in to maybe get better deals or access Netflix from the US or Netflix from Spain. NordVPN is a great tool to add to your online arsenal. And you can click the link in the description below and you can get yourself a fantastic deal through the podcast, which helps support the podcast and enables you to be safer online. Click the link below, and currently NordVPN have an amazing Black Friday sale on where I think you get 74% off a yearly subscription. Stay safe online. Make sure you're making the most of your online privacy with NordVPN. I'm Cold. you're cold. Winter golf is very much here. So let's dream of a better place. Or even better than dream, let's go to a better place. If you use code Birdie Double Points at Golf Escapes, it will get you double escape points on your next trip. And you can book a trip, be away in the sunshine, enjoying the beautiful weather, the fantastic golf and beautiful amenities of some of their incredible hotels that they have listed. Golf Escapes will handle the whole thing. They'll set the entire package up and you can enjoy every single moment without a worry. I used Golf Escapes to book my trip to East Sussex National recently for just a brief break, and everything was handled perfectly, to my golfing for the weekend, to my wife enjoying a beautiful spa treatment whilst I was out on course. Peace of mind, just a fantastic experience and a great team over at Golf Escapes. Head over there now, use code Birdie Double Points to get yourself double escape points on your next trip.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, I'll confess, I'm really kind of a major watcher kind of guy. I fall into that bracket of, I'll put the players on, I'll put like on the Arnold Palmer on and that kind of thing. But outside of that, Dubai Hero Classic, you won't really catch me watching too much else, to be honest. And probably because of YouTube Golf, because I'd sooner watch that than a random kind of event with half a field type of thing.
No, it's understandable. I think,
and even the PGA Tour, right? They're fighting for views with the YouTube.
I mean, it's blown him out of the water. I think is it Rolap, the new, he's taken over as PGA Tour chief, and I think last week he was quoted as saying we need to dense the PGA Tour season into, I think he said something in the region of 10 events. Or 10 or 20 events or something like that, but at every single one of those events, all the big players are. So he's let's forget about the John Deere Classic, because no one's watching. Let's make sure that all our best players are playing every single event, because he comes from, I want to say he comes from NFL. So he's used to huge numbers week in, week out. And he's seeing these huge dips and troughs and everything. And he's just going why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? That event's not worth it for sponsors. So I'm sorry, guys. It's not going to be popular with the 50 to 150 ranked players.
Yeah. But the money talks, right? It's crazy how the landscape might change. Then you've got things like the Internet Invitational pulling in Masters, bigger than Masters numbers is crazy. Insane. It's just and what every sport can do this. People want to watch just random internet personalities playing a sport. It's just crazy. I mean, I was glued. I was if there's a target market for internet, it was me. I watched them without stops. There's no breaks. I'll watch first 18 holes. I don't even know how to do it.
What was it first episode was 3 hours, 40 minutes, wasn't it?
I could not turn away. It was just crazy. Yeah, it was. I mean, they got it so right. And it's only going to get bigger. My only fear is that it's going to get so big that it's going to be A-list central, and it's going to take away the little bit of everyone wanted to win for the money. Because one of the problems with the PGA Tour is everyone's millionaires. Another formula for Scotty. So they it's all about legacy. They're either winning more than anything, and it's just. Yeah,
you could see it easily. I mean, I think
people really care about legacy that much. So that's what got
was Portnoy already saying he's trying to get, is it Kai Trump and the female basketball player?
Yeah, LeBron James.
Yeah.
LeBron James. Kevin Hart plays now, and it's oh, guy, and I don't mind that because that's going to get eyeballs. Yeah. Sponsors will love that. But
is it?
I don't know. Maybe it would be good. I don't know. Maybe it would be fun with loads of A-list celebrities, but we'll see, I suppose. But I cannot wait for the next one. Sign me up. I will watch it.
Yeah, of course.
Episode.
We'll be there for it without a doubt. Yeah.
I may criticize them, but I will watch
every Luke Kwan back. So. Get Melosi back. Let's rerun it. Yeah. Let's see if he sleeps in this stuff. Yeah, I heard Garrett Clark talking about it from Good, and he was basically saying it's either going to be a moment that you look back on in YouTube Golf and go, wow, that catapulted it to a whole other level of which we didn't know, or it's going to be the death of YouTube golf. He said it's going to be one or the other, because his fear is exactly what you were saying, is essentially
Too big.
it just, all these other people move into it, and then all the original kind of like creators, or at least the idea or ideologies of the original creators, gets left behind because it becomes a numbers game based on celebrity status. Because you look at what he did, like someone like Chaz. Like, he was not really particularly well known in the golfing world. They had a small following, obviously, through like hole-in-one trick shots and stuff like that. But now, like, he's a proper like YouTube golf celebrity, really. You know, like an unbelievable golfer. Like, deserves every bit of it.
And
would that happen? Would that happen if you know, you started getting these big guys into it? Because they're going to steal the limelight. Of course they are.
Well, I don't think. Yeah, I think if they're going to invite everyone who was in the last one for sure, and I think hopefully it's just broadening, and then that's cool. But then there's so many people that, I mean, the list is endless now, isn't it? Of just even YouTube golfers who could go. But I mean, everyone plays golf now, so how big's the net?
Well, exactly. You know? I think they've got to remember when they do it that there was obviously like the spike moments of like, you know, the Page patting down the grass, and Melosi with the slope, and Kwon sleeping in, and all those like things happened. But then there was that like sweet kind of like cherry on the top, which just finished it off so lovely, which obviously you couldn't account for it happening, but with Beef obviously passing away, and then him having the final part and telling the story of what he was going to do with the money. Like, that was such a lovely ending to the whole thing. And it would have been lovely, like, no matter what, like life-changing money. If the tragedy didn't happen, you're probably going to lose some of that if you don't have your Beef type sort of characters in it. You know, the sort of lesser known ones, perhaps. You know what I mean? I actually had a guy on the podcast, Isaac Sulakima Isaac, who was meant to be at the Internet Invitational. Frankie Borelli had like got in contact with him because he does amazing work in Uganda for the children there, and teaching them golf and playing like golf, you know, out of the mud, and just a really amazing character. And they had like his invite ready. He was on the list to go, and he couldn't get there because of passport complications. And they said to him, look, they blamed it on themselves, like the 4Play crew, like blamed it on themselves. And they said, don't worry about it. You're in for next year. Like, we're going to sort it out. We're going to make sure your passport's there, everything like that. You really hope, because that could be an amazing story. That could be, I mean, if he wins, it would be absolutely life-changing money. And you hope stories like that don't get left behind.
Yes, 100%.
You know?
Yeah. I can't wait.
Maybe you're going to be in it, Dennis. Like, let's, you know.
I don't know about that. Yes, maybe they're listening.
Maybe they're listening. Who knows? I doubt it, but you know, it was worth a go. So you said you got the opportunity to obviously play like a load of like amazing courses.
Oh, you're gonna ask me what's your favourite? My favourite.
Well, I tell you what. I'm gonna make it even. I'll let you like give like maybe a top 5 of courses that you've played. But what I really want from you, which I'm asking every guest now every week, is like a course I should add to my bucket list that you've played. So just one of those. So give me maybe your top 5, and then you can give me the one.
Okay.
Sorry, Dennis. Just put you on the spot.
So no, that's fine. So I've been very lucky. I've only played golf something like 3 years, and I'm not really good enough to play some of these courses. However, the best course, what we're rating on.
Just your feelings, your emotions.
Feelings.
You're going to have played well probably on it. That's normally Normally you'd have played well on it. Like that tends to be a golfer's bias.
That's normally how it goes. I wouldn't have any courses on this list if I played well on them. That's the problem. So, okay. So no particular order, top 5. Dunbarney, more recently. There's a bit of recency bias for the Scotland courses. However, Dunbarney was just, if you're talking kind of take your breath away, which only golfers will get. My wife would stand on the tee box between me. They're just all the same, but it's just the amphitheatre of every single hole. You can never see another hole. The fairways are they're like carpet, which is very unusual for links, because with links you kind of take the breeze out quite perfect. They don't run perfect sometimes because it's all natural and raw. So imagine like the most pristine sort of heathland golf course, but then you still get the crazy dramatic dunes. And every hole is basically surrounded by dunes. I mean, Dunbarney was amazing. I walked off thinking, yeah, this is the best course I've ever played. Played okay. Well, no, I got the shanks, so I didn't play great. But besides the shanks, it was actually okay. It was one of my better putting days, weirdly. So yeah, Dunbarney's definitely in there. North Berwick, obviously, for totally different reasons. So different, like the total opposite end of the spectrum to Dunbarney. They're both linked courses, but North Berwick was just more like the vibe. It felt like somewhere special. It was so quirky. I mean, some of the holes were just in absolute insanity. Was it, I think, something like a 16th green, 15th? I don't know, I think the 16th green is just, it's like crazy golf on crack. It's basically, you've seen holes with like tiers, but you've never seen a hole where it's like, you know, when sometimes on the fairway there's a big dip and everyone's ball kind of goes there off the tee and you can't see your next shot's blind and everyone's just hitting that. Imagine that, but on a green, not quite as dramatic, but it's just this massive funnel in the middle anyway. So Silverberg is just quirky and crazy, but just so special. And then on this side of the border, you've got Hollingwell. So that's my third, isn't it? Hollingwell in Nottingham, definitely I would say the best course in the Midlands. That might be an absolute stretch. I just can't think of any better. Yeah. So the one that I've played, Hollingwell is absolutely mega. Wallasey, which actually is, I think, massively underrated. Absolutely incredible. And then the fifth one is left out Carrier Golf Club in Turkey. Okay.
Nice.
That is mega. So good. Yeah, if you ever go to Turkey,
Carrier Golf Club.
It's like the #1 rated course in Turkey, but it's, yeah.
Is that in the Belek sort of like region, or is that? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. On like the strip, like the Magaluf strip of golf courses.
Just naughty in it, that coastline. It really is.
Yeah.
Get me there.
Yeah.
Get me there.
Good. Yes. Yeah.
That is a top
Turkey's
5.
I've done like Portugal. I've done Spain, and obviously these places are also massive as well. But Turkey, I think Belek is the spot just because they're so close to each other, and then you still get I don't know if you've ever done like all inclusive in Turkey, but the Turkish do it well. If you're all inclusive, so you get all the good like hotel-y bits, well then the courses are also unreal, and they're all next to each other, so it's kind of like tick.
Sign me up.
So yeah, big advocate for Turkey golf. Yeah, get me there.
That's a proper top 5. Which of those? I think I'm going to know your answer. I think I'm going to know your answer, but you might surprise me. Which one's the one that's going to go on my list?
I have to say Dunbarney. I don't think, and it's weird because there's a lot of sort of old school people who will say it's blasphemy that Dunbarney's rated so high, especially next to all these old Scottish golf courses, because it's really new. It's like 20 years old. I don't even think it's that old. It's like 10 years old or something. But it's just so good. I could talk for ages about it. So basically, it's not very long. So there's like at least 3 or maybe 4 drivable par 4s. Like, really, you could have a go. And it's deliberately made like, but it's just always inviting you to really have a go. And there's some holes that are tricky, and there's not really any rough. It's just dunes. Yeah. So it's like fairway or rough or dunes. And just some of the views. There's 2 par 3s where behind the green you can't see anything but the sea. So that's just like, if you're like a bit of view, if you're a views guy, everyone like looks for different things in golf courses, don't they? If you're a views guy, and if you're a short par 4s, I actually think it has everything. I'm trying to think like what you might not like. It has everything.
Would it be?
You get a shot of whiskey.
I've seen that. That in itself is like a big sell.
It's just, what is there not
to
like?
With like the Ryder Cup being like quite a hot topic generally when it comes to like courses, they're always looking for places. Like I think when they played in Rome, that course had like 1 or 2 drivable par 4s. Par 3s don't have to be super long. Just needs to be risk and reward. Would somewhere like Dunbarney? I don't know what it would be like, sort of to actually set up an event there. But would somewhere like Dunbarney be somewhere that could hold a Ryder Cup? Do you think? No,
I think it's a bit too raw. There's not really space for stuff. It's like tee box, airway, 30-foot dune on either side. And then it's your green. And then you walk through like a perfectly mowed fairway to the next hole, tee bogs. It's just
Yeah,
crazy. It's like you don't need to think, when you walk on a hole and you think, right, where do I go? It's like there is only one way you can go because everywhere else is, you're basically like sheltered from everything else. You can't see, you never see any other golfers unless they're in front of you. It's just crazy. It's so dramatic. And these kind of things you never really pick up on, even drone footage. I remember I was doing the editing. It's like, oh, this was so much better than this in person because you don't really get how dramatic the elevation is.
Yeah, I love it.
Add it to your bucket list immediately. And it's not cheap, and I get that, but it's just so special.
Yeah, it's something that sort of like part of Scotland's just like a proper like pilgrimage, isn't it? You just got to go there and do it.
Yeah.
So.
And there's so many to choose from. I mean, even little things like Crail, I mean, that's like a quarter of the price and it's just equally as amazing in views. It's not as special in other departments, but it's still just such a fun course. It's just such a fun course. And nothing like anything we've got here in the UK, in the England even. So you're so spoiled up there. If you've just had like 4 days, 3 rounds, where do you play? That'd be so hard.
I've got a mate whose uncle is a caddy at St Andrews and a resident in St Andrews as well. So he gets sort of the county card or whatever it's called to be able to play, X amount of times.
What a county card to have.
And it's cheap as well. Like for locals, it is not expensive. I think it's something like 400 quid for the year or something like that, because they try and keep it inclusive for local residents. So it's I've asked the question already. It doesn't really help with guests, but it is what it is. Well, I've never met him, but I could meet him, couldn't I? We could get on. Who knows?
4 hours on a golf course, next thing you know, in each other's bank details, don't you?
No, I love that. I'm gonna add that to the list. I've got Old Head like just behind me here as one of the courses that's like a proper bucket list course. Sunningdale was added last week. I'm trying to remember. I think there was one more as well that I'm missing.
Yeah. As I told you earlier, I'm a Heath man. I think Sunningdale's gonna melt me.
Yeah.
If I ever get lucky enough to play down there, I can just tell.
They don't like media, do they? They don't like the media at Sunningdale.
No. And do you know what? I can't film. No, what a shame. No. I can just play.
No one's going to see the shank. Oh, no. But Dennis,
it's so nice.
I appreciate you so much for coming on. I'm glad we were able to sort out a time to be able to do this and have you on the podcast. You're a proper golfing personality in the UK, which there needs to be more of, like that's exactly.
Appreciate it, man.
I don't know at all.
I love what you're doing, man. Keep it up. Again, there's not many doing it like you, so keep at it. Dennis. It's tough. There's times when you think, man, when you get through it, and next thing you know, one of the videos goes crazy. And you're like, oh yes, the dopamine hits, and I'm back again doing it all over again. So, no, absolute pleasure coming on. When you messaged, it was like, yeah, absolutely.
Cheers,
why not?
Dennis. I appreciate you, mate, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with Bogey Golf in 2026.